Hello, beautiful soul. Have you ever wondered if the world around you is real? Not just real in the sense of solid objects and familiar faces, but real in the deepest way, existing beyond your perception, beyond your mind? What if everything you see, everything you experience, everything you call reality, was only a projection of your own consciousness? This is the question at the heart of Solipsism, the idea that the only thing you can ever truly know is your own mind. That everything outside of you, the people, the sky, the universe itself, may not exist independently, but instead, as a reflection of your inner world. Could it be that you are not simply in the universe, but that the universe is in you? Let's explore this together. The solitary dreamer. Is there a world beyond you? Imagine waking from a dream so vivid, so detailed, that for a moment you cannot tell if it was real or not. Now, what if there was no way to prove that waking life was any different? Solipsism suggests that everything you experience is happening within the mind, that the sights, the sounds, the people you love, all of it is constructed by your perception. And the truth is, you have never experienced anything outside of yourself. When you see a sunset, what you perceive is not the sunset itself, but the way light interacts with your eyes and is translated by your brain. When you hear music, you do not hear the sound itself, but the electrical signals your mind interprets. When you feel love, you do not touch another person's soul. You experience the energy that rises within you. Your entire world, every color, every sensation, every emotion, exists within the boundaries of your awareness. But here's the real question. If everything exists inside your mind, how can you ever be sure that anything exists outside of it? The illusion of separation. Where do you end and the world begins? Solipsism suggests that there may be no true distinction between self and other, because everything you perceive is happening through you. And so, is there truly a you and a them? Or is there just one consciousness dreaming many faces? Mystics, philosophers, and scientists alike have asked this question. Quantum physics reveals that particles behave differently when observed, as if consciousness itself shapes reality. Eastern philosophy teaches that the self is an illusion, that separation is Maya, a veil concealing the oneness beneath. Neuroscience shows that what we call reality is merely a construct of the brain, piecing together fragmented information to create a coherent world. And if your mind is the filter through which all things are experienced, then in a way, you are creating reality as you live it. Not in the sense of manipulating objects with thought, but in the sense that reality, as you know it, cannot exist without you perceiving it. Loneliness or divine oneness, the two sides of solipsism. At first, solipsism can feel deeply isolating, because if reality is only happening in your mind, does that mean you are utterly alone? Does that mean no one else truly exists? Does that mean love, connection, and meaning are just illusions? But let's look deeper. What if instead of seeing solipsism as a prison, you saw it as a gateway to something greater? What if instead of being alone in a meaningless void, you realized you are one with everything? You are not separate from nature. You are nature, dreaming itself through human eyes. You are not disconnected from others. You are the consciousness that gives them life. You are not small within the universe. You are the universe, experiencing itself as you. What if, rather than being trapped in a lonely mind, you were an infinite presence, creating worlds within you? If reality is a projection, can you shape it? If solipsism suggests that your mind is the source of all experience, does that mean you can change reality by changing yourself? What happens when you shift your thoughts? What happens when you release old beliefs? What happens when you see the world not as something separate, but as a reflection of your inner being? The world responds. When you choose to see beauty, beauty appears. When you trust life, life flows more effortlessly. When you live with love, love manifests around you. Not because you are forcing the world to change, but because the world is you. And when the dreamer shifts their dream, the dream itself begins to transform. Beyond the mind, is there something greater? Solipsism tells us that we cannot prove anything exists beyond our own perception. But does that mean there is nothing beyond us? Or does it mean that we are part of something far more vast than we can comprehend? Perhaps the question is not whether the universe is real or not. Perhaps the question is whether we are willing to wake up from the illusion of separateness and see that we were never just an individual, but something far greater, experiencing itself through form. Perhaps the purpose of solipsism is not to trap us in self-doubt, but to lead us to the ultimate realization that we are not just a dreamer lost in illusion. We are the dream itself. Closing reflection, the dreamer and the dream. So beautiful soul, what if this life was a dream? What if reality was a canvas, painted by your thoughts? What if everything you seek is already within you, because nothing was ever separate to begin with? Perhaps solipsism is not a theory to be feared. Perhaps it is an invitation to see yourself not as lost in an illusion, but as the creator of your experience. To realize that consciousness is the only certainty, and that in this moment, you are aware. To embrace that you are not just living inside the universe is living inside of you. And in that knowing, perhaps you will feel it, not loneliness, not fear, but the quiet, infinite presence of everything that has ever been and everything that will ever be. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. Until next time.